Messages of Hope with Suzanne Giesemann.
Listen, they're all around you, close as a thought or a memory. Messages of hope. Messages of...
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the brand new Messages of Hope podcast. I'm so excited because we've harnessed the latest technology to bring this to you live. You can comment and we'll be able to follow your comments. In a few minutes, we'll even take some live callers. I'll put that number up as it comes at the appropriate time. But I'm so excited because as we do this from my new Messages of Hope studio, I'm going to bring in two of my wonderful team members. And here they are. We have Bev Garlip and Lynette Setzkorn. Those of you who've been following my work for a while, you know both of them, but say hi, girls.
I have to unmute myself to get
Hello, everybody. Welcome.
Hi, everyone.
Yeah, this is going to be a little bit of a loose format today. There will be other days when I have special guests. So let me talk about that right off the bat. This Thursday at 4 o'clock Eastern time, you can tune in live. We'll have the link up on Facebook Live and YouTube Live. We'll also send an email to those who want to sign up to be notified when I have new shows coming up, because they won't be on as regular a schedule as we're used to. But this week's guest is Dr. Christopher Kerr. Lynette, why don't you tell everybody about Dr. Kerr and what the show is going to be about?
Dr. Kerr is a physician, a scientist, and he wrote a book called, I don't remember the name of the book, but what I know is that he made a documentary by the same name, and I have seen that. And what happened is that he, in the process of his work as a hospice physician, became aware of what they call end-of-life experiences for people who are dying in hospice, and how comforting those are, and how people meet up with their loved ones. It was particularly fascinating this morning as I was working on some of the notes to read about what happens with children, because they don't have a lot of people in spirit, but they do have like beloved pets that they've lost. And so he'll talk about all of that. He'll talk about how he made the transition from, strictly hard science into this more emotional, spiritual realm. And I think it's going to be a great show.
I know it will be. All right, Dr. Christopher Kerr, so hospice doctor who knows all about the afterlife. We'll be talking about that this Thursday live. If you can't join us live, as always, we'll place it on YouTube afterwards on my YouTube channel. And I'm part now of mindbodyspirit.fm. They don't have my page ready to go because this is so new since Unity Online Radio disbanded. But you'll be able to catch all the archive podcasts there. Yes, Miss Lynette, I see.
May I just say that it is called Death is But a Dream, Finding Hope and Meaning at Life's End. And it's not, it sounds depressing, but man, it is really, really uplifting and full of hope.
Say that one more time, the title of Dr. Kerr's book.
Death is But a Dream, Finding Hope and Meaning at Life's End.
All right, thank you. I knew you'd come up with that. So as I look at the screen, I'm seeing my shirt, and I chose this on purpose for everybody today. Be like Nellie. Nellie is one of my two beloved dachshunds. She's a little English cream blonde-haired girl. And we've had 4 dachshunds now, but she is over the top when it comes to affection. Lynette and Bev can attest to this. She runs up to everybody and she just radiates, I want to love you. That's her message to everybody. And even if they're not dog lovers, they just melt. So I have a wonderful friend named Karen Crawford, who made this shirt for me as a surprise. And I was just wearing it when we were walking Nellie and Rusty a few minutes ago. And true to her style, Nellie went running up to a neighbor. And I said, I unzipped my jacket because it's a little chilly here in South Carolina today. And I said, look at the shirt. And I said, hello, Jenny. So I just feel it's a message for all of us to be like our pets who love unconditionally. So Bev, are you seeing any comments coming in? Is that working?
Yes, it is. And they're coming in from YouTube and Facebook. Lots of greetings and from all over the world.
I love it. I love it. I want to give a special shout out to our tremendous world-class graphics team, Melissa Von Bial and Matt Kubrich, who have created, if you look in the corner here, this new logo for me that I just love. They're really helping us to help you recognize when you see one of my videos online. We're going to have a whole new website look pretty soon, and they are just the best. I know that they're going to tune in today, so shout out to them. So what's really exciting about this program today is using new technology. We've come up with a way that you can actually call in. Now, I can only take one caller at a time. It's going to be like the old days. If you call in and you don't get through, you'll get a busy signal or you'll go straight to voicemail. You won't be able to leave voicemail. So don't even bother trying voicemail, but you just call and one person will get through. So while we're waiting for the line to light up, look at that. We have a caller. I love it. Welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hi, it's Angel.
Oh, how perfect is that? We have Angel on the line.
Should I shut the YouTube off? Is it getting interfering?
There's a little bit of feedback, but it's not bad. How are you doing today?
I'm nervous because I never expected that you would pick up.
Well, it's great. Do you have a question?
Yes. Is this Bev? Lynette or?
Yeah, this is Suzanne. That's you're talking right to me.
Oh my God. Hi, Suzanne. I met you in Savannah at one of the courses. So Ayla, a longtime client of mine, passed away April 2nd. She was like a daughter, and I actually am a muscle specialist. I worked on her body since she was 9.
Okay.
And we kind of, it was a very difficult cancer, and at one of the last visits, I just said to her, because I didn't know if it was appropriate, but because of my experience now, I thought, what better time than to ask, for how would she come to me? So, and she had mouth cancer, so it was very hard for her to speak. But her middle name is Rain, Ayla Rain. So she said to me, when it rains, and then I just joked, I said, Ayla, you're not going to make it rain all the time. so I felt like I needed, I thought, oh, geez, it rains a lot lately. So I was hoping for another sign. So I just said, well, that beautiful picture that you painted, don't knock that over. I don't want that to break. Maybe you can, move the ribbons of your ballet shoes or something.
Ooh, you're making it hard on your friend. I usually advise people don't ask for physical things because that's very challenging. Not impossible at all, but let's hear what she did.
Well, actually, nothing yet.
Nothing yet. Okay.
Nothing yet. And so, I'm wondering if I'm trying too hard.
Well, did you actually ask her to move the ribbons on the shoes?
Not when we were face to face. It was very difficult. She was heavily medicated and in extreme pain. So,
well, it did. Let me tell you, I love that these questions apply to everybody, and that's the kind of questions we want. Please understand that you didn't have to ask her face to face. Anytime we communicate, we're also at the same time communicating soul to soul. So this is for everybody. So her soul knows you're waiting for a sign. In fact, I just got goosebumps. Look at that, girls. We got the goosebumps already. And so there is no doubt in my mind she's going to send you a sign. And truly, it feels as if it's going to have something to do with rain, but it's not going to be just that it rains. Signs need to be something very specific. You'll know it when it happens because she's going to snag your attention. Like, that's for you. That's from me. It could be somebody just at the right time saying something like, when it rains, it pours, or something that just snags your attention in a very specific way. So I have no doubt in my mind that she's going to get through to you and let you know that her crossing was great. And the biggest message she's going to have for you is her gratitude for the love and the care that you gave for her during that tough time.
Yeah, I guess I was just wondering if there's something, am I trying too hard, or, with your stepdaughter, it took a while. If maybe,
Well, how long has it been? How long has it been?
So she passed April 2nd. We had her burial April 3rd, and then we had a life celebration the week after, which it did drizzle while we were her dad was talking, and then I said something, and then it just drizzled, and then there was a triple rainbow.
Oh my gosh. Now, okay. Everybody listening, how often do we see triple rainbows, huh? That's a lot of times when we cross, we have help from those who can do things like triple rainbows. It's not that she would be suddenly powerful enough to do that, but we're all part of the power that pulls off these awesome signs. So I would take that triple rainbow as immediate validation. Don't worry about that. But I don't think you're trying too hard. You can't overlook these signs when they come. I think you really need to give credit for that triple rainbow. The drizzle, that could or could not be her, but the timing is very, very significant. But gosh, she's only been gone a few weeks. So
yes. And I just figured, because I took the course and I'm meditating every day. I'm thinking like, I should be better at this.
Oh, no. You just your intention, your belief, your noticing that you're doing everything right. Don't think any of you that we need to be better at something. Just do what you're doing and know that Spirit knows, and they will help you. Okay?
Oh, thank you, Suzanne. I'll see you at the next course. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. Thank you, Angel. Bye. All right. How cool is that? I saw more callers coming in. We'll take some more calls in a minute, but let me see. Let's see. Right here, if you go to my homepage, SuzanneGiesemann.com, you'll see some of the upcoming courses. Angel talked about, she met me at a course in Savannah. That was my level 2 mediumship class. But y'all can join me in Ohio in July, I think it is, when I'm going to be doing my personal mediumship course, which is for anybody who wants to learn how to connect across the veil for your own loved ones and guides across the veil and your angels, like we just had Angel call in. I think that's so awesome. What do you think, girls? The very first time we do one of these shows live, our first caller live is Angel.
No doubt planned.
Pretty awesome. Are there any comments we would like to comment upon?
You know what? We have someone who was out of the country and so asked a question in the Facebook comments. Do you want to hear that?
You bet.
Okay. His name is Jay. The question is it selfish of us to think our loved ones are only around us? As I assume once you're on the other side, you become aware of all of your lives ever lived, so maybe they had another few families and also want to spend time there.
Well, this is the thing. That is a great question. Thank you for asking it. And Lynette, thanks for passing it along. We are souls and human. Once we leave this human body, we embody more of our fullness, this expanded state. And if I've learned anything from my guide, Brenda, across the veil, it's the ability to be in more than one place at one time. She's given us incredible examples of looking in on several of us at once. So as Brenda told us, there is only here in consciousness, in awareness. You are consciousness and expression. So just imagine how awesome it will be when we leave these bodies and we can meet with other families from past lives, but understand, as the guides are showing me right now, those other past lives include the souls of your current soul family. You know, you're taking on different roles each time you come around, and somebody who's your brother now may have been your sister and vice versa in another life. We'll sort it all out when we get to the other side, but just get outside the box and don't think limited to one body, one experience at a time. Great question. Very good. I saw several people calling in. I appreciate your efforts. Give it one more go. I'm not going to put that phone number up again because I want to take one more person that didn't get through live. Hit your redial and I'll take the first caller that comes in. There we go. It worked. Okay. So greetings. Welcome. Messages of Hope podcast. You're on the air.
Hello.
Yeah. Hi. You might want to mute your computer because we can hear some background. Are you still with me?
Yes, I am.
Hey, what's your name?
It's Patricia.
Patricia, welcome to the show.
Thank you. So great to talk with you.
Wonderful. Do you have a question that will benefit everybody today?
Well, I'm not sure if it'll benefit anyone or if you can answer it. I lost my husband a few years ago, and then my brother last year. And I guess sometimes I feel like I get signs or whatnot, but I have two small children from my husband. They're now 13 and 10. And they keep asking me how they can communicate with them. And I tell them to look for signs or pick signs and whatnot. And they seem to struggle with that. So is there any advice, or if they come through, is there anything that they will say that I should say to them?
Absolutely. I love that they're asking. The number one key for all of us for connecting is the belief and the awareness that our loved ones who have passed are still part of our lives. I get goosebumps again. They're just here. Tell them that the guides are talking now. Talk to them that it's like your dreams, but it's more real. That just like you go to sleep and here are the dreams, you don't have to go anywhere. It's just right here. Tell them that Dad is on a different channel right now. And that by shifting their focus to the Dad channel, even though they don't have to know what they're doing, that desire to talk to Dad connects them. Tell them they're always connected in the heart, but just by, you can even give them a word. The word I teach everybody is shift. And they're going to just shift to the Dad channel. That feels like that'll really resonate with them. And then tell them to absolutely have a conversation with Dad, and then just be quiet and listen. But more than listening for him, feel what they feel in their heart. Especially for boys, this is great to get them tuning into feelings and emotions, because that's the way we talk soul to soul. So then I would just make it really a wonderful ongoing thing where you say, did you try it? And what did you feel? And what did you experience? And validate them. By all means, continue looking for signs, but to encourage them to talk to him and let them know that he knows they're talking to him, that he hears them. Then you can have them ask him directly, Dad, give me a sign that you're around. And they can even ask for the kind of sign, like show me a baseball, and then see how that baseball shows up in their life, and then tell them when it does, you can give credit to Dad for that. Okay?
Okay, great. And I have the course that I did with you with the meditation in it. Is it a good idea to try to get them to do the meditation, or they're too young for that?
Okay, every one of my courses has meditation. Which course was that?
I guess this was probably about 2 years ago.
Probably Personal Mediumship Plus. It is never too young to start meditation. The Bless Me method, the Sip of the Divine, any of those would work for children.
Okay.
I had a class recently, and somebody brought their 12-year-old daughter, and I just sit and say, some of us come into this path later in life and the timing is perfect, but wouldn't it have been awesome to know some of these things when we were younger? Would have made life a lot easier. Yeah. Okay, absolutely. Patricia, okay. Thanks for calling in.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Okay, what do you think, girls? This is great, huh?
I love it.
It's great. I'm amazed at how many people found you live this very first time with very little advance notice.
Yeah.
Well, that just shows the power of social media. My husband Ty he can't stand social media, and I say, well, I understand that, because somehow it's a little like road rage. You get in your car and people think they can let out a side of them that nobody else sees. And I think it happens on social media. We feel we can say things that we wouldn't say to people in person. But what I love about our community and on my Facebook page, don't you see it, Lynette and Bev? People are so loving to each other.
Yes.
Yeah. Awesome. So speaking of moods and changing moods like we see on Facebook, I would love to see some comments in the chat section. Did anybody else yesterday notice mood swings? I actually had a conversation with Lynette. I haven't had PMS in a few years, let me tell you. But yesterday, I felt mood swings like I haven't felt in years. And it was, what the heck is going on here? And then happily, Lynette sent me this little screen save of the fact that Easter 2 days ago, there was a double massive solar flare, and that these actually affect our moods. I had a headache, and I never get headaches. So I tuned into the team and I asked them, is there something to this? Oh, yes. I'm asking them again. And they said, trust this. Everything is frequency. Everything is energy. They just now said, what is the greatest influence on our planet that we're aware of? And that, of course, is the sun. I mean, if the moon can cause tidal changes, what do you think the sun does to us? So chat in if you specifically noticed mood swings or crabbiness yesterday. You guys let me know if you're seeing anything, okay?
Okay.
While we're waiting for those comments, did either of you notice anything?
Well, I have a theory about it. You know, you're a really clear channel. Like in the morning, I drink 20 ounces of caffeine and you have a half an inch and you're like, woohoo. So maybe people who are more sensitive to it experience it more. I don't know.
That's actually a very good point. So you're saying you
my
did
usual
notice.
steady self.
Yeah, Lynette, you're really low volume compared to Bev. So if there's any way you can turn that up or bring your mic closer to you, that'll help. So Lynette, I know you're sensitive. You should have felt something if this valid. Bev, how about you? Did you notice anything?
Now that you mention it, yeah, I was just sort of, in a funk. And I know, all the tools, and I was pulling out the tool bag to say, I need a different point of view. What's going on? Why am I feeling so blue? And now, okay, I have a reason.
Isn't that something? It's like before when I used to get PMS and you're like, why am I so crabby? And then you find out why. And it's like, so if any of you were knocked off balance yesterday, this really could be a reason why. Ask your guides. We're getting comments?
Lots of comments. Lots of
comments.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hang on. We have a caller on the line. Stand by. Don't go anywhere, but please mute your speakers, and I'll bring you back on in just a second because we have feedback. So my caller from area code 780, mute your speakers. I'll be right with you. But just to validate this, you're seeing in the comments that people did
crabby and a headache and anxious, upset, felt nauseated, been like a cat the last few days. Tough day, thought I had multiple personalities.
Oh, that was me, the multiple personality yesterday. Poor Ty. Oh my God. So yeah. I don't know if he gives credence to solar flares, but I'll take that one. Yeah. So
someone mentioned that she ate a hot fudge sundae, which she normally wouldn't do. And as Suzanne and Lynette know, I've been very, very careful about what I'm eating lately. Oh, yeah. And for the first time in months, yesterday drove me to eat a piece of chocolate.
I did too. Oh no, solar flares and chocolate, there's a connection. Now we know.
A connection, yeah.
All right, so I have somebody that's been waiting on the line here. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Who do we have the pleasure of talking to?
My name is Heather.
Heather. Yeah. I hope you are enjoying the morning like we are. How can I help you today?
Well, I have a question. I'm not sure how many people it would apply to. I've been meditating for a little over a year, and I get the kinds of, might be my imagination kinds of responses. And a couple of months ago, I was meditating, and I got a crystal clear picture of my father-in-law. It was so breathtaking and emotional that I just broke out sobbing, and I couldn't even continue. And I still kind of have that response when I think about it. So I've asked for some information, what this could possibly be and what it means to me. And I'm not really getting anything, and it was just so overwhelming.
Well, Heather,
I just wonder what you think of it.
Heather, I think your beliefs or perhaps a lack of understanding of how spirit works is getting in the way, but your soul knows what that is. So I'd like you to just move your awareness down into your heart now. And I'm just teaching all of you as we do this, how you do this. Move your awareness down into your heart, okay? Get out of your head that wants to logically analyze everything. What was that?
Oh, I don't know.
That was a visit. That was your father-in-law. That urge to cry is part one. That's the soul saying, this is real. This is a heart connection. Pay attention. And then that clarity, oh, got the goosebumps, the overwhelming presence that you felt is an actual visit. You were in an expanded state, and that means you were more aligned with higher consciousness, attuned with the spirit world. So you did it.
I was. So how come every meditation isn't so vivid?
Oh, God.
Even when you feel like you're getting messages from
Isn't that
confirm.
Isn't that the $1 million question? I'm a medium and I don't have that all the time. So let's ask the guides, why is every meditation not so vivid? Oh, the answer is so clear. For you are here to have the human experience, and every once in a while the veil parts just enough to let you know this is real. You can do this. It's a gift, but it's not given like carrot and stick. It's available and it happens with perfect timing. Keeps you coming back, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, but don't expect it every time, because you will, as the guides are saying right now, you will receive other gifts in their own way. If you expected to have that kind of clarity, that same kind of experience every time, you would miss other kinds of magical experiences at different levels of vibration.
Okay.
So this is, the goosebumps. This is the beautiful thing about meditation, that it's different every time when we go at it with no expectations. Okay?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
Celebrate that visit. Good job.
Yeah, that was awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you. And I see that we have other callers coming in, and I will take a few more before we end. I just having a ball. How about you, Bev and Lynette?
I can't quit laughing. It's just so much fun.
This is Lynette's laugh. Get used to it, everybody. Speaking of Miss Lynette, those of you who've taken any of my classes or followed any of my work, actually, if you have attended, let me find the banner for this. I think it's this one. Yeah. If you've attended my monthly connection webinar, you know about the sign game that I play with Brenda, my guide, and Lynette. One of the things that happens every month in the monthly connection webinar, you see Bev and Lynette, they come in at those webinars as well. It's similar to this, is I share the latest evidence from the last month. And I share when I play the sign game with Brenda, because it helps us know these connections across the veil are real. You can do it too. It opens your belief. And so I'm going to share right now with you what happened this morning. I'll be sharing it in the May 10th monthly connection, along with the amazing reading that followed. But the sign game, how I do that is I tune into Brenda, who is a friend of all of ours. We all knew Brenda when she walked in a physical body. She passed in May of 2015. That's right? 2015? 2018. 2018. We met in 2015. Yeah. She told me, you got that wrong. Ask her. I'm like, why am I asking? Okay. This morning I sat to do a reading, and I always tune into Brenda to make sure I'm attuned and ready to connect with whoever my clients' loved ones are. It's a fun thing we do. I hadn't even hit the chair. I was in the process of sitting down, and Brenda put in my mind's eye Lynette and a tent, which is so cool. I'd like you all to realize we don't need rituals. We don't need meditations to connect with our loved ones that we have an ongoing relationship with, like I do with Brenda. You can get to the point where she knows I'm going to ask her for what's current with Lynette. So she puts tent in my mind's eye. Right away, my human side wants to doubt this. Lynette's not into camping. She's not into tent camping. I know she's done it in the past, but this is April. It's really chilly, but trust. So I quickly text Lynette as I prepare for my reading. Brenda's showing me you with a tent. What's up with that? And it's so cool because Lynette, as part of our game, always texts me back immediately and validates it. And what, Lynette, they're valid like 99% of the time, right?
Yeah.
So why don't you tell everybody what's up with the tent?
Well, my sister and I live in an apartment in Atlanta until we can find a house. Ha ha, fat chance of that in this market. Anyway, I was driving past our dumpster and there's a brand new Coleman 8-person tent. Oh my God, I couldn't pass it up. So I snatched it. I was dumpster diving, picked up a tent, and Brenda was hovering over me spying.
Clearly spying. I mean, how cool is that? Brenda knows what's going on in Lynette's life. She knows what's going on in her family's lives, in my lives, in her friends' lives, because like she showed us, there's only here in consciousness. So she saw Lynette finding this brand new tent. This was just 2 days ago, right? Lynette never mentioned it to me, but she probably thought, oh, this is going to be a good one to bring up when we play the sign game with Suzanne. So awesome. So I'm going to be sharing that again May 10th, but then I'm going to be sharing about the reading that came afterwards. I am awed by the flow that we enjoyed with this client's loved one, by the clarity, by the newness of the things that they gave to me. As I tell all of you, the connection only gets better for all of us. And I just celebrate this sacredness of the fact that we don't die. So we have another caller coming in right now. We have a caller from 405 area code. Please mute your speaker if you can. Not on the phone, but on your computer so we don't get feedback. But welcome to the show. Who are you?
Hello, thank you. I'm Celine.
Say your name one more time, please.
Celine.
Celine. Oh, very good. That name came up. Oh, Ty just talked to us, Celine, just the other day. How are you today? How are
Hello?
you? Yep, you're on the air. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm so excited. This is a question I've been wondering for years.
Great.
So I had a friend I've known since we started 3rd grade together years and years ago. And he passed away. It's been almost 10 years. But somehow I had a very close connection with him that I didn't realize while he was still around. But he gave me some signs after he passed, and he also visited me in my dreams several times. I'm taking one of your online courses right now, by the way.
Which one? Which one?
I'm so, oh gosh, the Shift?
Oh, the Shift Network course. Yep.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So, but anyway, he would always come in my dreams regularly, and one time he came in my dream. It wasn't the final time. I think he's visited since then, but he came. And his name was Eli in physical, but he came one time in my dream and he said, okay, from now on, you have to refer to me as Ben. And I couldn't figure it out. And it seemed like it was very serious, which was not his normal personality. And I just was like, well, and I didn't know what that meant. And I thought that, he's somebody that I thought that I could have a connection with and practice mediumship with and everything. And I wasn't sure how I was supposed to take that.
Well, what I hear is guide, and that he's one of your guides. It's why he's coming to you repeatedly, and that he wants to have a different name that you use for each other, because as we've learned, we have a name for this role we're playing, but we also have a name that those in the spirit world refer to us with. And
that is exactly what I thought.
I knew you knew it.
Wonderful to have that confirmed.
Yeah, so if you were to call him Eli, that would keep you both in the roles that you're in.
Yes.
And the role that he played with you and how you knew him. But to call him Ben, there are the goosebumps again. Now, that's a different way of relating to him. But you know what's going to be really helpful to you, Celine, is ask him how he sees you. He'll give you your soul name. Just take the first, get into a nice meditative state. Don't do it right now. Get in that nice expanded state that you're learning to in my class. Move into your heart. Connect deliberately with Ben. When you feel that presence, when you just know he's present, ask him, by what name do you call me? And then
I love it.
And then you connect that way.
I love it.
Ooh.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Oh, wonderful.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you for calling. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. This control panel here is keeping me busy. So this is so much fun. Bev, I want to give you the spotlight here for a second. I would like you to share the lesson that we brought this podcast up at the last minute today. We just said, let's go for it. Let's do it. Let's show everybody that even though the Unity Online Radio podcast ended, we're going to keep the party going with the Messages of Hope podcast, not on a regular schedule. You can sign up at SuzanneGiesemann.com/podcast. We'll send an email several days in advance, unlike this that we only gave you 2 hours notice. But I only gave Bev like 1 hour notice because Bev, you were supposed to be gone today and you were going to have a really nice outing, get away from your computer for the whole day, right? And then the car died. So you shared with me your attitude about that and an awareness that we've learned from this work. And I would just love if you share with everybody what that was.
Oh, I will. Yeah, as Suzanne said, I was all excited about a day trip today and get away and spend some time on the Crystal River near us. And my friend who was going with me, we were taking her car. So I went over to her house on my golf cart. I'm in a golf cart community. And we're all excited and ready to go. And I hit the button on her push button on the car, and it was dead. Just nothing. Yeah, battery gone. And of course, my immediate human reaction, was this flood of disappointment. And then immediately, as Suzanne and Sanaya have taught us, shift to a different point of view. And I thought, for whatever reason, we're not supposed to go on the trip today. There's a blessing in disguise here someplace. Thank goodness we weren't halfway there, and the car decided to die. It happened right in the driveway. So it's one of those tools in the tool bag that I've learned from Suzanne and Sanaya that just shift to that different point of view, and it takes on a whole different meaning. And you can say, isn't that interesting?
That's it.
And it didn't ruin my day, and here I am. I can be on the inaugural podcast.
I love it. That is, I got the goosebumps again. I wonder, it's too bad James isn't joining us. He's the guy that always on the monthly connection counts the goosebump moments.
Your car will probably start after this, Bev.
Yeah.
But absolutely true. That shift in perspective and that statement from Sanaya. I'm going to take this call and just ask them to wait. The caller 706, please mute your speakers and just stand by on the line. We'll get to you in a minute. I want to share something else. But that shift in perspective. I've had several big disappointments lately. One really big disappointment of something that just keeps getting delayed. And that phrase, isn't that interesting, takes you to neutral. Now shift to soul's perspective, just exactly what Bev did. And then trust. There's a reason for this. That's the big thing. Knowing that something might have happened or could have happened, or she really was supposed to be right here, because this was not planned. But boy, I love having both of my original team members. I have other members on my team. We have beautiful Donna and Valerie, and it would get a little crowded if I had everybody all at once. I have another caller on the line, but I want to share one thing. When Celine brought up her friend Eli, it reminded me, I was in the grocery store just the other day. This has nothing to do with anything, but the guide said people will love this. I was picking up an avocado, and I said, he was the produce guy putting the fresh produce out. And I said, Eli, are these ripe and ready to eat? And he says, no, but my wife says if you put bananas on top of them, they'll ripen faster. Did either of you ever hear that? Why are you laughing, Lynette?
Come on, are you used to lay them on top of the avocados? I mean, I've heard of putting them in a bag.
Well, yeah, but did you ever hear the banana thing?
No, never.
No?
Apples.
Okay.
Yeah, I've heard of other combinations, and the sort of the chemical that the one fruit gives off ripens the other fruit.
Yeah. Oh, that's why. Oh, that's why. I'm like, why are we talking about this? It's very earthly, this very earthly example, but the guides just said, do you see the synergy? Bev, you hit the nail on. Oh, there's the goosebumps again. You got it. That we need each other to ripen.
Yes.
I love it. I love it. I hope that this program today is helping all of you on your journey. And so, area code 706, what's your name and welcome to the show?
Hi, Suzanne. This is Susan.
Oh, well, hi, Susan. How are you?
How are you?
Doing great. Do you have a question or a comment for everybody?
Well, sure. After my dad passed away, this has been about 5 years ago, he had leukemia. I started, I guess I really wasn't even aware of the spirit. I'm sorry, I'm a little nervous of the spiritual path, but I started receiving signs. And it started with not just a few, but tons of bluebird feathers. And I started I never had a bluebird, didn't have a bluebird feeder, didn't have a bird feeder. I would go out in the woods and feathers. Well, then it became angel feathers. I would find white feathers, and it just kind of opened me up, and I started finding 444, and I'm like, what is the deal? Why am I seeing these synchronicities? I didn't really even know what the synchronicity was, and 5 years later, it has just been an amazing flood of signs. My mom found my dad's wedding ring and gave it to me on Father's Day. And I was videoing, when she gave it to me, I was videoing, it was a warehouse of his, and I was just videoing the interior, and I got this extreme flash, and I got it on video. And I was like, I feel like my dad is here with me, like he is in this moment, he is loving this moment. And since then, I've read several of your books. You inspire me because you're not woo-woo. You're like a regular person, like I feel like I am. But I'm just wondering, in seeing these signs, I'm trying the meditation. Sometimes I get frustrated. I'm a mother of 3. And I guess what I'm wondering is, will I get that spirit communication?
I'm only laughing because you're getting spirit communication, but I believe you mean hearing the voice, feeling the presence.
Well, and I hear, and I've heard that it's not my dad. I was reading my Bible, and I realized I just heard the word "feel joy." And it hasn't happened a great deal with the clairaudience, but it's like I've got all these things, but I don't know how to put them together.
Oh my goodness. You're just right on track. First of all, the joy component is huge. Just that you're celebrating this, that you're not questioning it, that you don't care that other people might say that's over the top. The joy is part of the connection. So you work with your own guides. A lot of things on the gifts page of my website. Let me see. We can go to this one here. There's my homepage that I just put there on the screen there. The gifts page has all kinds of meditations to help you really hone the focus in your connection with the spirit world. Any of my courses will help you do that as well.
And I have two of your courses, and they're so amazing, and I go back and back and back.
Good.
I love the soul-to-soul communication, but yeah, you're just such an inspiration, Suzanne, and I'm hoping that I can make that. I think it was North Carolina. We'll try.
Oh, that's right. I have a retreat coming up. So there we go. In Boone, North Carolina, and another one right there in Omega Institute in New York in July. So 2 retreats where you can meet me face to face. But back to your question, I would say go into the nice expanded state, use the Bless Me method that I teach that you know how to do.
Yes.
The 7 steps to connecting with higher consciousness. And then set a very clear intention in the last final stage, the experience and engage state, a very clear intention that you would like to make that connection with more purpose and clarity. I'm hearing right now that it would be a really great practice for you to sit and have written conversations with spirit, to hold that focus in a dedicated session. You'll really open that up.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, and I felt that yesterday. That is so funny you said that. Yes.
Oh, imagine that. Well, thank you so much for calling. It was great
Thank you,
question, and
Suzanne.
I hope that the answer helped everybody. You have a great day.
You too.
Okay, bye-bye. Oh, how fun is this, girls, huh?
It is blast.
I think we have a new format. We're going to have to make sure you two can join me every time.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
So let's see. Any comments or any questions from anybody overseas that can't call in right now?
Let me take a look.
Yeah.
Lots of people saying yes to the bananas. Yeah.
I'm amazed at the number of countries represented in the chat list here.
Bev, you were part of the Heart Circle when I first started channeling Sanaya weekly to a small select group of beloved soul sisters and brothers in the Villages, Florida, years ago. And remember what they said? That we'd be using technology.
Yes.
To reach people all over the world. I believe one of my Shift Network classes that I teach had over 42 countries represented. And Lynette just had a reading as a test reading for the current class I'm teaching with a woman practicing her mediumship in Pakistan. Isn't that, goosebumps again. It's just awesome. So I think we'll take one more caller. I also think I was supposed to make a pause every time for a quick commercial break. We're not going to take it now, but they'll insert this later in the audio version that goes to podcast. So here's a break, but come right back after this ad. There we go. Okay, welcome back, everybody. I'm sorry, we're having too much fun. I want to acknowledge as I say that, my guide said, acknowledge that not everybody is feeling joyous right now. And Bev and Lynette are both widows. We've all lost someone dear to us. My stepdaughters across the veil. We all have beloved pets who have passed, who we're currently grieving. And yet we can laugh and giggle. And it's that avocados and bananas connection here, isn't it? It's that synergy. It's that coming together to help each other. And if we can model anything for you, it's that this too shall pass, and yet it will come again as well, because life is full of the joy as well as the sorrow. And yet when you have a community like we have here, it makes all the difference in the world. But what makes the biggest difference in the world is what, girls?
Love.
Knowing this is not the only world.
That's it.
Yeah.
No, both answers are absolutely spot on. Knowing this is not the only world and that love is what connects us. And that's what we talk about here on this podcast, in all my books, in all my classes, how you can learn to connect with the greater reality. So I think we're going to be able to take one more caller. If someone wants to call in, I'm going to put that number up one more time. And I'll take the next person. Whoever gets through is who's meant to come through. We'll keep chatting probably for about 10 more minutes. I love that I don't have to watch the countdown clock like I did with Unity Radio. You guys don't realize it when you're watching me now, but for 4 years now doing that show, I had to end at exactly 30 minutes, then a break, and then slide the guest into the end of the hour. But now we don't have to go a full hour. We could go under, we could go over, but I'm just having too much fun with all of you. And there's our caller. So I'm going to bring you on in just a minute. 813 from Tampa, Florida. I'm going to take the number away. Can't take any more callers. So if you miss this opportunity, sign up at SuzanneGiesemann.com/podcast. We will broadcast in advance with an email when we're going to do this again the next time, which will be regularly. I will also have regular guests. Oops, that person dropped off the line. So we're going to take somebody from Arlington, Virginia. Please mute your speakers on your laptop while you talk, or your device. Welcome to the show from Arlington. Who are we talking with?
This is Diane Morano.
Hi, Diane. Welcome.
Thank you. I had a question for you. I've lost both my son and his fiance.
Oh my.
His fiance was just just recently. And over the last couple of weeks, as the birds are coming back into our area and starting to nest, I've had these small birds. I think they look like little finches, but they are pecking at my window wherever I am, and whether I'm in my bathroom, like running and pecking right at the window.
That is awesome.
And then I'll go downstairs and they're pecking at the kitchen window where I have my son's picture and his fiance's picture. And my father had just passed away as well in October. And so I don't know which one of them it is. I'm thinking it's them, but they're, even as I walk up my stairs, I have an atrium window, and sure enough, the I don't know if it's the same one, but I can't imagine it would be the same one, but because it happens, over the course of a week, it was happening every day, a couple of times a day. And even as I said, as I was walking up the kitchen, my staircase, at the atrium window, they were trying to, it's almost like they were flying right into the window. I felt so bad for the poor things. But after so many times, I thought, I don't know which one is trying to tell me something, or was it?
Oh no, it's absolutely a sign, and we'll tell you about that in a minute. But I very clearly have the knowing those two are together, and they're trying to get you the message. They absolutely have met up. I keep seeing a tuxedo in my mind's eye, as if they'd already even talked about tuxedos or had even looked at a tuxedo. I don't know. I mean, sometimes they can be, the wedding could be way out there, but I am seeing the tuxedo there.
Yes, we just went to a wedding, and I had my father's tuxedo tailored to fit me, and I wore my dad's tuxedo, so maybe.
Yay! Okay. Oh, goosebumps. So know that your dad, your son, and his fiance, they were at that wedding with you. They're around you at major events all the time. But the birds, fabulous sign from spirit. I know that many of you have heard me tell this story before, but I had a spirit come through in a reading and show me that they don't become the birds. Our loved ones merge with the consciousness of the birds, and they said it's like remote control, and the birds love it. They love communicating for those across the veil and flying like, go back on the window now. Hey, Mom, it's us. We're together. We're okay.
I thought they were going to hurt themselves. They were a couple of my screens have little holes in them. But it was really something, and I just, because it was so much, I just thought, boy, I'm missing something here.
You're not missing it at all. You knew it was them. I know you think you're missing the details. It's really just making sure you don't miss that they are together. They are fine. They're still with you, which is just beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Your son just said, leave some seeds out.
Thank you so much. I really
son, I
appreciate
can hear your
it.
son,
Thank
and
you
he's,
so much.
hang on a second. Your son is actually saying, leave some seeds out for them. Okay? Cool. In a little
That's so
bowl,
funny, because my daughters were trying to tell me the same thing. They said, for God's sake, Mom, give them some food.
There's some little plate you have that's like the handmade ceramic, or there's a picture on it that's important. You have a little round plate that's either hand painted or handmade, and I'm being told to put the seed in that.
Oh, I will.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
So beautiful. Thank you for calling.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Awesomeness. Oh my goodness gracious. Doesn't get much better than that. Lynette has a beautiful story about Brenda crash diving a bird. That's going to be out in an anthology. You're going to be published again, a little chapter in a book that's coming out soon, I think. If you're on my newsletter list, let's see, just SuzanneGiesemann.com. Down at the bottom, you will be notified of any new events. And I wrote the foreword to this anthology of beautiful stories of hope from across the veil. And Lynette's chapter of how Brenda crash dived a bird is in that book. So please sign up for on the website. On that same homepage is a book, Where Do I Begin to Learn About Connecting Across the Veil? Where do I begin? There are so many resources on my homepage. That's a free ebook you can download, and you'll know exactly where to start. Well, what do you think, Bev, Lynette? I'd say we did a good job for the first time, huh?
And Sahara made a comment, isn't it fun co-creating this?
Yeah.
And how right she is. It's the energy of everyone tuning in your chats, and even those who listen later. The energy is all still there. So it was a co-creation.
It is. And you know, nothing is more appreciated from the spirit world than gratitude. So let's all just go to our hearts right now. Know that you have this own sun within you. Your own rays are what connect us all. So send these rays out from your heart. Feel the connection with everybody tuned in right now. Even if you're not listening live, there are multiple people that'll watch the video and listen to the podcast at the same time. Once connected, always connected. Ooh, do you feel that gratitude just there, girls? I could feel it. Yeah. We love you all. I love these two. They've been with me for years now, helping us to bring the messages of hope to all of you. And so again, sign up at SuzanneGiesemann.com/podcast if you want to be notified in advance, more than just a couple hours in advance, if you want to join us live. Otherwise, this will go up on YouTube. You can catch any of the old podcasts on any of the podcast outlets, on YouTube channel. Is there anything I'm forgetting to announce, my dear friends?
I think you covered it.
I think you covered it.
All right. Well, like I said, going forward, we're going to have special guests every once in a while. Next one this Thursday, 4:00 Eastern time, Dr. Christopher Kerr, talking about the afterlife from a hospice doctor's point of view. And then we will have these kind of chat with me and Sanaya and Bev and Lynette often, because we love you. And we love sharing with you what we know, and that is life like love is eternal. You want to wave goodbye, everybody? All right. All right. I'll see you back here. Thank you so much for joining us. It was really awesome. Bye-bye.